Good morning. So what's your biggest challenge with social? Everything. Well, inventory. Can I just talk about inventory for a second? Let's get away from social. I had a conversation literally yesterday on a conference call about inventory. Different markets have different levels of inventory, and that's a big thing we're hearing lately is no inventory, right? And no inventory also impacts the mortgage business. It impacts everything. The question is there an inventory problem, or is there a problem with you not having inventory? So here was the exercise I did with one of my coaching clients that was having this problem in New York State. And it's not meant to be like hardcore, but maybe it is a little bit. Because when I coach people, sometimes there's some tough love that has to go with it too, right? That's what I do. So I had this person pull up. I said, how many listings normally in your market come up on a weekend? You know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but how many new listings hit the market? He said on average 80 to 90 in his market. It was a different market, right? So 80 to 90. I said, all right, pull up last week's numbers. He's like, look, there's only 42 that came on. So I said 42 listings hit the market Friday, Saturday, and Sunday just on those 3 days. Yes. So I said, how many of those listings did you have? He's like, none. Okay, so if you had 3 of those listings, did you have an inventory problem? Not really. So I said, if I took all 42 of those homeowners and I put them in a room and I said, how many of those homeowners do you know? He's like, I know none of them. Okay. Now, if you knew 5 or 10 of those people from relationships, networking, at a BNI meeting, at a cocktail party, something, if you knew 10 of them, do you have a shot at getting 3 listings? Yeah. So what's the real problem? You didn't know enough people. It's as simple as that. So if you had 3 of those 42 listings, you don't have an inventory problem. The problem is you don't have any inventory. So I know it's hard because there's listings coming on the market. I know it's tough to hear that sometimes. There's listings happening. And I know it's less, but somebody's going to get the business somewhere. So either you're going to get more of it. You know, it's like saying, hey, my competitor takes 100 listings, but our listing inventory is way down. Well, if I could get 10 or 20 of those listings from that competitor, you got to get it from somewhere. Just like when there was no buyers. When the buyers were really tight, you had to find buyer leads. You know, so that was the kind of challenge too. It's either one or the other or happy medium. Rarely it stays happy medium. Now the goal is listings are gold, right? When you compete for a listing, sometimes you're competing with top dogs. Sometimes you're not, but you don't know sometimes either. So you got to bring the entire toolbox. Today I'll share with you some ideas. Yeah, we're going to tie social in today. And while there's a lot of sales and marketing things to talk about, we're going to just focus on some social ideas and some lead capture ideas today. We can always talk about some others, maybe at the next time we get invited back. But let's start and focus first on an hour or so of what we can do on social a little differently. But inventory is a challenge. Just think about how can you find more of it and how can you work to get more. All right, so let's talk about our consumer for a second. Because really, all social media is, just for the record, is simply today's marketing. It's not something else to do. It's just simply today's new world marketing. It's where the customers are. It's where your potential clients are going to be. It's simply you need to be there as well, except you need to be there in a different fashion. It's not just about making a post on Facebook. It's not about making a post on Instagram. There's a strategy way beyond all of that. The 3 words you have to remember, and this is because the consumer wants this, is you need to be memorable, visual, and mobile. Think about this. Why do you think, and this is a hot subject, why do you think the majority of consumers not only trust, but go to Zillow? Why do they go there? Accessibility. That's where they believe all the right information is. Is it done really well in mobile format? It's really mobile. Is their website, for the most cases for the consumers, fairly easy to get around? It's fairly visual, right? So it's visual and very mobile, and obviously they have this memory as if they're going to get. The only reason they were very successful in the beginning, whether you like them or not, is because they did a better job than we did in the industry, giving our customers information on mobile and the way they wanted it. They see it as like the mall. There's no intimidation, right? They're not calling a brand. They don't think they're going to be sold, even though we know behind the scenes it's advertising and marketing. They see it as the neutral play zone. But they did a really good job on mobile, right? They did a really good job giving them visual content. You have to sometimes think about when we go to your websites, you might be doing a great job, but is it really a good experience for that consumer? Do they have to hit drop-down menus and pinch and zoom and shuffle around to find what they want? Or is it 1 or 2 clicks away? That's what you have to start to think about. Because to me, what's our attention span nowadays? Really, really low. Now, anybody have teenagers in the room? Just curious. Teenagers or grandkids that are teenagers? Anybody? Did you ever watch them on Instagram? How they maneuver? Like, can you visualize them doing it? How quick are they moving their thumbs? How quick do you go through Instagram? Anybody who's on Instagram? Really fast, right? So we used to talk about eye-catching information. We used to talk about, eye-grabbing information. This is thumb-stopping information. You have to have visual content that stops a thumb. That's how really crazy it is. You're swiping. Just like they're going through Zillow homes too. They swipe and they swipe. You've got to get something powerful enough to stop them or to stop you, right? So that's really where it is. That's about 2 or 3 seconds of time. So I want to ask this question because once you understand the back end of the reality behind social media, you'll think of it marketing differently. Why do you think social media is not only successful, I'm going to use the word addictive. Would you agree it's addictive though? In some cases? Yeah. In some cases, it could be an absolute time suck too, right? It could just suck time away where you're not productive at all. And I get that. You feed into the drama, right? Distraction. It could be. It could also be very powerful. So let's talk about the reasons why first, and then I'll share mine openly. We're a small group. Let's do it. Why? Information. Who said it, right? Yeah. Easy information. It's all there, right? Why else? It's what? It is entertainment. Absolutely. We're watching everything that's happening. It's keeping us busy. It's preoccupying our time. What's the cost? Free. Anything free. Right? What about FOMO? Fear of missing out. Does that have something to do with it? You think people are thinking like someone else has that more magical life that I'm missing out on somehow? Because perception on social is really powerful. Like we all think some of these people have this magic, glorious, everything's wonderful life in some cases. Or in the opposite, someone's really so down and dramatic and messy, we don't even want to follow them anymore. But that's part of the problem. Here's my real thought on social. It wins because it's built on emotion. Think about that. It's an emotional marketing platform. And I'm going to prove it to you, not just say it. Emotional marketing, if something can get you emotionally moved, isn't real estate an emotional business? Very emotional. I bought my own home. I've been in real estate since 1988, right? So I started in real estate before technology was born, rode through the waves up and down while they were good and bad. And trust me, I had some really bad years in my career. And I'll tell you this openly and honestly, I burnt out twice in my 30 years. When I say burnt out, crashed and burned. And I'm okay to tell you that. No shame in that. I learned a lot from it. If any of you ever need to learn from some of that or go through it, you let me know. I'll be happy to share it with you. Because there's no real reason to hide that stuff. That's our business, right? So that being said, the emotional marketing platform, here's why. When some of you guys or anybody makes a post, think about you made a post. What do most of you or almost all of you do 30 seconds later?
You go back and
You're all going back to see what? If somebody liked it or someone commented. Now, think about why are you doing that? Why? Is that an emotional response?
We need that emotional
You're looking for some kind of validation. You're looking for something emotionally connected. So 2 things are going to happen. If 3 to 5 minutes you went back to your social post and there was not one like or comment, how do you feel? You're like, is Facebook down? Like, did they just shut down for, like, you're trying to hit that refresh button, hoping something like, because that's how you emotionally feel. There's a weird, look, that's why it became an addiction to some. Okay? It became an emotional connection. The other extreme is when you actually get engagement or there is a lot of likes. And think about this. And this sounds, if you asked me 10 years ago would I be talking about this, the answer would be no. When someone gives you the little love hearts on Instagram, does that make you feel differently?
yeah,
Sounds crazy, but of course it does. I, too, just as guilty.
yeah, the faces, everything. You know.
Makes you, right, the emojis, right, makes you feel different. So it's emotional. But then there's that. It's, when are you going to put the darn thing down? When's it too much? And some of you know that look, right? It's either coming from you or you're giving it to somebody. It's like, all right, really? Like, can you put the thing down? Because you all sleep with your devices for the most part, most of us, right? It's your new companion. If I took your device away for right now and put it up here where you can't touch it or see it, how would you feel? Would that change your emotion?
Yes.
Make you anxious as hell. right? And years ago, I did that as a fun thing. I used to do this manager broker, back when social was just getting started. I took a group of managers in a room, and I made them all, back when smartphones were like, who's got a smartphone, right? All of them, yeah, I got a smartphone. Great, give them to me. Just give them to me. I made them put it up on the desk, all of them, pile them up. And it was so funny watching the human element of that. Some would just put it face down. Some would stack it in a certain way. Like they didn't want their phone being touched by another phone. Like it was such a psychology of weirdness. And then I made them all go sit down. I couldn't communicate. Like they were not looking at me. They were watching things buzz and vibrate and blink. They couldn't pay attention to me. Their phones were sitting over there. So think about that emotional, ridiculous connection. So we've got to figure it out. The one thing I want to share with you, I think is the simplest tip ever to me, but probably one of the most valuable today, is how do you listen better on social media? We talk a lot. We get paid to talk. But if you could listen, imagine going back 20 years. Who's in the business 10, 20 years maybe? Right? Imagine if you had a list. Someone gave you a list and said, hey, here are all the people that are going through life events. Here's some people that are getting divorced. Here's some people that are getting married. Here's some people that just had babies. Here's some people that just graduated their last kid. What makes real estate happen? What makes real estate happen? Life events. Right? For the most part. Imagine if you just had a list. Here's a bunch of life events. These people are all going through something. Are they a good prospecting list? Hell yeah. Like I'd want that all the time. We never had it. Now I'm not saying we do have it, but you're pretty darn close. People on social media talk about all day long life events. So here's a challenge. There's also perception of what you pay attention to. Because remember, it's emotional. I'll give this example. I use my sister as the guinea pig to this because it's a simple story. If she went to the doctor's right now this morning, finds out she's having a baby, right? She comes back, the sonogram, the picture, she makes a social post, tags everybody, this big happy moment, everyone's connected, right? Boom. By the time I get to my phone, because I'm here with you guys this morning, having breakfast, we'll spend some time today. 2 hours later, when I get back to my phone, I go on Facebook, where's the post? Where is it? It's buried in the bottom of the feed, right? Or the algorithm, or whatever they're changing. So I didn't see it. Didn't even know it existed. Do you think my sister knows a day later that I didn't see it or comment or like or anything? Do you think she's paying attention to me not doing anything or communicating with her? Do you think she knows that I didn't connect? Yeah. How do you think she feels? Not good. I'm scum. He's too busy. He doesn't pay attention. Because people think, just like when they send you a text message, while we don't have to, but the expectation is, you're going to get back to me right now. I want it now. So expectations are terrible. Today's consumers' expectations are really on demand. And while you don't have to do it, they may not just wait for you. That's just unfortunately how it is. So here's the same thing with your customer now. You sold somebody a home. 6 months goes by. Are you really talking to them day to day anymore? Truth? I know the answer to that, no. But yet, they make a post that says, I love my new kitchen, I love my new granite countertops, we just renovated, here's the before, here's the after picture, what do you think? And you don't even see it. You're not even paying attention because you're on to the next 10 deals, you're not listening, it's in the news feed, it's in an algorithm, don't even know what happens. And they know you didn't say, like, comment, pay attention or anything. What do you do when the guy says, hey, my oldest child is graduating and off to college, empty nester now, big old colonial. What are we going to do? Maybe we'll go down south. They say that stuff, don't they? Hey, guess what? We're having twins. Congratulations. You're in a one-bed condo. Congrats. Life events. But you don't pay attention to them because you don't know. So all of these things are happening. And all I want you to do is think about how do we capture this information. So I want you to write down, and if you haven't done it, and I want you to actually do this daily, is create Facebook lists. You do it once, actually, and manage it daily. Facebook lists. And all a Facebook list is let's just make an example up, is I create a Facebook list, and I'll show you how to do it. And again, it won't be super tutorial today because I don't want to bore you guys, but the strategy is simply this. I make a list, and let's say I call them past clients, because I know you're not talking to your clients much after the sale. You might send them some stuff, you might run into them, but the last thing you'd want to do is run into Mary at Target, ask her how her husband John is, and she'd be like, he just got out of the hospital. He had a heart attack 2 weeks ago. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. It was all over Facebook. You should have known. She was posting from the hospital. Like you should have been paying attention to that and picked up the phone and talked to her and said, oh my God, how can I help? Is there something I could do? And do something as a human. We lose that human part. But if you knew about it, just like anything else, you could have paid attention to it. So you create a list, past clients. You put your clients in that list, your past clients in that list. then instead of daily, my morning consists of this. On my mobile phone, where did I put it? It's over here. Sorry, the camera there. My mobile phone, instead of just going to Facebook, and don't get me wrong, we get sucked into stuff and I go through the feed, and I just see random people's stuff. I go to my lists. My lists have my past clients. So I could see what Mary and John and my clients from a year ago or 2 years ago are doing, because it filters out their posts. So I could pay attention to them. Imagine if I had that client, I liked and commented on their stuff once a week. It feels like I haven't left them. I'll know what their daughter just did. I know who won the soccer trophy. I know when school's ending for their kids. I know all that stuff because that's what they're putting out there. It's the most valuable data in the world. We just don't know how to collect it and listen to it. So a Facebook list. I have a list for my clients. I have a list for my family and friends. I have a list for people I do work with. If I was a broker of an office, I'd have a list for my office so I could pay attention to what they're talking about. And it's not a matter of stalking. It's just paying attention to the people that matter. So I can actually stay more connected to them. So when they say something of importance, good, bad, or indifferent, you could be there and comment and like, and also then pick up the phone and be human. Does that make sense? Right? So the simplicity of it is, and I just have a few screenshots, but everyone's got a little different system, browser. It's in your friends category. You just go into your friends category, and there's going to be a button that says create a list. It really isn't brain surgery. It's going to then say put people in the list. Who do you want? You type in their name. If you're connected to them or friends with them, pops them, you select them. If I close on 3 homes this month, and I'm connected to 2 of them, I go back in and just add them to the list. See, once you do it, it's really kind of done once. There's a secondary type of list that you can make besides just one you categorize. I think the one you make individually is more important, but there's going to be an option to create a list based on geography. Meaning, I farm, what office are you in? East Brunswick, or let's say I sell in the East Brunswick area, or maybe a wider. You could pick a geographic area of 10 miles, 8 miles, 15 miles, 20 miles, and just filter those people you're connected to in that geographic area. That's good for farming. That's good to know what's up to in your neighborhoods. That's good to know what people are talking about in those areas. Traffic, schools, businesses, all sorts of stuff going on based on that geography. When you go into your friends category, Facebook thought they were smart and said they're going to create what's called smart lists. So they tried to create some of the obvious ones like, hey, Jeff, you went to Kane University. We'll create one for Kane University, so we'll connect you with people. There is one for based on the town you reside in. Just click on it. It'll open up, and it'll say, pick friends who live within blank miles of that town. You just change the filter. 30 miles, 80 miles, 70 miles. Just make it once, and it just filters people that you're connected to. So for me, that's a quick snapshot of what are people talking about in East Brunswick, New Brunswick, surrounding area. Good to know that, because there's a ton of stuff from a real estate perspective we should know that when we're talking to customers about that are happening. To me, it's information, right? So I think those 2 lists. Now, you have to create them, still to this day, as far as I know, on a desktop or a laptop. But you can access them and comment and like and do everything you really need to do on the remote control of our life, which is here. I have a screenshot for those from my iPhone. It's not the sexiest screenshot, but it's the reality of where it really is. I didn't create the Facebook platform, but if I was in my Facebook app, right, I'm in the actual app. At the very bottom, you'll have your messenger and all sorts of stuff, notifications. The bottom right, it says more. So I would write Facebook app, bottom right, more. Once you do it once or twice, you'll know where it is. After I click more, the screen will scroll up. It would be this screen. And I'm looking for the word feeds. Feeds means lists. Should just say lists, but it's called feeds. You'll find the lists that you created there. So it makes it real simple. Morning, cup of coffee, Facebook app, go to my feeds, check out my list. I'll go through Family First Funding. I work with 110 loan officers, and I check what's going on, what are they up to, go to my family, my friends. Just scroll through the lists. Like, comment, and talk. That's where I'll spend most of my time, because that's all that really matters to me for the most part, right? And then if I do get that time, I'll scroll through the feed, the regular feed. So I think you use lists 2 ways strategically. Watch what happens when you start paying attention to your customers and you're staying engaged with them and you're listening to what they're actually doing. It's magical. When you can spend 6 months, 8 months, and then you run into them, it's like you never left them. Right? Simple tool, costs you nothing, easy to use. Right? We good on that? Okay. that I want to move to Facebook business pages. I'll call them farming pages because I'm from real estate background. To me, everything's about farming and listings. How do I get more? So, and I'm not saying this is a magic pill. It's not a magic button. It's not going to create listings for you overnight. However, what are you doing with your business pages now? Truth. I know the answer. Not much. You created one because we thought we did, and maybe you didn't create one, but we created a business page. We probably named it something along the lines of you or your real estate business. You post some stuff up there, some listings, some articles and stuff, because that's what we thought we would do. But how much engagement and people do you talk to on that page? Not many. So, I don't know about you, but there's a definition I have of insanity that you guys know about, right? Definition of insanity is what? Same thing? And expect a different result. So I'll post a listing up there. I don't get much going on, but I'm going to do it again next week because that's what I think I'm supposed to do. Right? That's what I thought I was supposed to do. It's a business place. I'm going to put my business stuff. But the end of the day is I don't want you to do anything on social media. I'm not here to tell you got to be on Twitter. You've got to be on Snap. I don't care. I want you to do one or two things really well, and that's it. Don't move on until you do one or two things. Because I watch people have 8 different platforms. They do nothing on all 8. Right? You can't spend that kind of time. Focus on the one or two. So if you have a business page that's not doing anything, you have 2 choices. Stop. Or do something different with it. Something different and I'm going to give you ideas and strategies we're using with other companies, and these are real estate companies. I'm not saying they're magic pills. What's the whole purpose of a business page, though? Why are you thinking you're doing that? What's the purpose? Engaging your business. But isn't it really about finding more? Okay.
I thought it was also because as realtors, we're supposed to be posting on that.
Okay.
We're really supposed to be selling on your personal page.
That is correct. There is a...
share our business page, but we can't. Correct?
Correct. So Facebook's rules, of course, there's always some grayness to it, and I don't know about the Facebook police, but you're not supposed to be putting business propaganda, marketing on personal pages. However, it still does happen, and I'm not advocating for it. So maybe the page was the only other place to put stuff, and maybe there is. However, if you're not getting anybody's attention or eyeballs on it, it's like, how much would I spend? If I said it cost $1,000 a month and you're getting nothing from it, how long would you do it? Nothing. But because it's free, we continue to do it, but we're still not getting any results. Our time is what we have to think about, because why would I do something I'm not getting any results from? So I'm not saying you shouldn't put it there. What I'm saying is, if you're going to do it, let's think about something first. I want to talk to an audience of more people. Remember the very first thing about inventory is if I knew more people and could talk to more people, I have more opportunities to sell and market homes. Truth? Yes. People. So if I had a Facebook business page that had 1,000 people on it, does it matter if it's a real estate page, first of all? What if I had a page on, I don't know, playing golf? I don't like to play golf, but what if 1,000 people on my page about playing golf and golf ideas? Is that still good for my real estate business? Mm-hmm. Sure. Of course. 99% of them live in, own, and rent a home, and we all have something in common, golf. And we all like each other because we're talking about the same stuff. So what's the difference if it's really... I'm not saying you shouldn't have a real estate page, but if you're going to have a page, why don't you do something that's going to interest the consumers or the people you can connect with about something you're really passionate about? Anybody have a hobby outside real estate? And don't tell me all I do is work for a living. Because I kind of know that. Who has something you do outside of work that's kind of hobbyish or fun? Come on.
I raise chickens now.
You raise chickens?
Yes.
How awesome. So, do you hatch them from the little things too, like in the incubators? You bought them hatched. Okay.
Yes.
Now, I hate to ask this question. Is there other people that are into the farming chicken?
Millions.
Okay. So, as crazy as that might sound, because it's unique, you could build an audience around that, right? Right, and or the process of that, and or the fun of growth, and the fun of how do I do it, and watch them grow kind of a thing. Sounds silly, but if you had 500 people on that page talking about chickens, is that a bad thing for your real estate business? Is it fun for you to do because it's part of your day? Right. So, your chickens are going to be your thing. No, it sounds crazy, but think about that. I'll share with you guys... And it's maybe time for a different talk on a different day. But I have this presentation I've created myself. It was called 7 Streams of Leads, 7 Streams of People. But it goes into the same concept. Is I need more streams of people to talk to. Right? One of my most popular streams of people that I went out and found, like maybe the chicken audience, was archery for me. Like I shoot 3D archery. I don't spend enough time doing it, but me and the kids, we shoot archery, 3D targets, and it's a fun thing. I live in Sussex County. There was a group by me called it's still there, Appalachian Bowmen. Didn't know they were there. This little farm building out in the middle, 200 acres, private club, 80 members, male, female, all ages. I joined because I wanted to. But guess what? First 2-3 months, no one knew I was in real estate. I wasn't there for real estate. But our business is people. And after the 3rd month of everyone knowing me, jeans, sneakers, bringing my kids, everyone, oh, your kids are adorable. I walked in one day with my real estate shirt on, like I just was running late. And their magnet went off, like, you're in real estate? I'm like, yeah. And I didn't want to talk about it, but I couldn't stop talking about it because that's all I wanted to know now. There wasn't a week that went by that someone said to me after a meeting or whatever, hey, man, can I pick your brain on some ideas? I got my mom's house and I'm not sure what to do with it and the value. And sure, yeah, we'll grab some coffee. Because you know what? They liked and trusted me already. And I was there for the right reasons. I was there for chickens, right?
Everyone should be there for chickens.
Right. It's the audience of the commonality. It's not a hard business. Don't get me wrong. It's a hard working business. But if you think about it from the smart way, is finding more people with things in common that will like and trust you. So if I had that page, something about that, we got stuck on real estate. And while you could have a real estate page for still online presence, you can still have a really good real estate page to have it publicly found because Google will find your business page. But my main purpose would be to have a page where I could talk to people and build relationships with something in common. These happen to be real estate related pages, but different than what maybe you're used to. This is just a sample. Tampa Real Estate Investment is the name of the page. It's not like Jeff Lobb, the real estate guy. Because no one really cares about my page. They're not waking up to go to my Facebook page to see my new listing. So they created all about the investment opportunity and all about how to buy investments and construction costs. And they're sharing ideas and doing stuff. It's a great network, too, because I'm sure they're, hey, who's looking for a great deal? I got a property that just came on. It's a network, right? That's a page theme, if you will. The Tampa Real Estate Insider. She is I'm using this as an example. She's taking that inquiring minds want to know personality. She's like, what's the scoop in Tampa? People love to read that kind of stuff, like what's happening, what's new, what's going on downtown. So she took the theme of that, and that's her niche. Build an audience around that kind of content based on her personality. Best of Sea Isle. This was a unique page. I'm not saying these are all perfect pages, by the way. Just sharing with you the ideas. Because at least if I could build 800 to 1,000 people or 500 people, I at least had people to talk to and network with. Best of Sea Isle. You guys know Sea Isle, New Jersey? It's down south. Big summer destination, rental market. I'm going to go from Bergen County down the shore for the week kind of a thing. They keep up on what's happening in Sea Isle all year long while they're sitting at work in New York and Pennsylvania. That's if I vacation there every year. They'll keep me posted on, hey, the new little golf thing's opened up. There's a new restaurant that came into town. Give me all the scoop of what's going on. So when I go on my vacation, how many people go on a vacation down there and eventually buy a home down there? They're feeding that market of information. So they're talking all about the best of that area for people who come to that destination. You guys might know this one. Who's in the Cranford office? You know, 365 Cranford Westfield. It's a Facebook page. She's been doing it for a long time. It's really just focused on the community itself. And I'm going to share with you some ideas I have about community because there's some pros and cons to it. I have a really good way I want to share with you on how to prospect in your community because prospecting is difficult for many, right? Anybody really love prospecting? There's always usually a few. Do you? Great. Who else? You like it? Good. If we can make prospecting easier, would that be helpful? Okay, good. Because I'm going to share with you an idea tied to this kind of a theme, but a little bit different. This is Sharon Steele and Coldwell Banker. Welcome to Warren. That's a theme based on community, all what's happening in the Warren Township market. Right? So you see where the theme is going. However, when Top 10 Miami was around, this was what gave me, I had this idea pre-Facebook, and I didn't have Facebook to use it. Top 10 Miami is a destination site about travel. You know, top 10 bars, top 10 restaurants, whatever. So before Facebook was born, when I was selling real estate, part of my thing was this. I used to knock on doors. Years and years ago, when I first started, I knocked on doors with a gold jacket on. Mustard gold. Mustard. Ugly mustard. They made it a lot nicer looking now. However, you knew I was in real estate because that was a branding thing. When you saw this guy with a gold jacket, it was just, that's how they tied brand together. But knocking on doors for a living, if you've ever done it, it's okay. It wasn't my favorite thing, but I did it because that's the only way I knew how to get business. Had no fear, didn't care. When people were sitting in the office waiting for the phone to ring, I was out talking to people. Only because I didn't know any better and I was just young and didn't care. So I did that. Then I also learned, what if I could stop knocking on 100 doors a day What if I could just go find people who knew a lot more people? Meet one person that knows about 300, 400. And to me, what it turned out to be was the local businesses in my town that serve those consumers. So my farm area, for example, was, say, 300 townhome complex. That was one of my farms. And I used to maybe sell it was a feeder farm for me, 4 or 5 townhomes a month, because they'd either come out of a rental and up, or they'd go in and then they got married and need to move out. It was a constant churn. So for me, it was a great feeder program to market to because of the ins and outs of people moving. You guys understand what churn is, right? Had a lot of churn, up and down. People got to a 4-bed colonial. Everyone was out of the house. They don't need that big of a home anymore. They moved down to the townhome again. It was a full cycle. So I looked at this market and said, okay, good. Who in this 10-mile area serves these people? Like, who serves it? Restaurants, karate studio, dance studio, sporting, all that stuff. Coffee shop, bagels. And I chose to say, okay, what if I had a page, now again, I didn't have Facebook, that said something like the top 5 in Sussex County, or best of Sussex County. If I said I'm going to create a page that's the best of Sussex County, and I walked into my local bagel shop, pizzeria, coffee shop, where my customers go every morning, right? And let's say you're the pizza owner. You're a chicken owner. You're the pizza owner. Think about this as a prospecting script. Remember, first of all, prospecting is about getting to know more people, but you have to have a value proposition today. Like, we don't want to just go ask. Too many people just ask me for my business, but haven't given me a darn thing of value first. I want to give you value first. So, first name again? Kathy. So you're the owner of a pizzeria today, right? My name's Jeff Lobb. I'm with Remax. Kathy, we just put together a Facebook page that's talking about all of the best of Sussex County. I'm picking some of the best places. I think you guys do a fantastic job on pizza and desserts, and you've been delivering to our house for 100 years. I would love to highlight your business, you, the owner, the family, and I would love to post it on my page and share it with all my real estate clients, because they're always asking me, where's a good place to go? Would you mind if I highlighted and elevated your business on my page and posted about you guys? We take some pictures, maybe do some video, just because I think you guys do a great job and I want to help.
That would be fantastic.
How many people are walking into anybody in your community offering to help them? You are? Good for you. You mind sharing?
I go to all of the community neighborhood meetings.
Good.
And there is where they disclose things that are happening.
Awesome.
That's how I typically end up helping.
Great network, right? So if I did this, and now keep in mind, I'm using a business page as a vehicle to offer just local people in the community, the farm stand, whoever it is. And then you and I get to take a couple pictures together, and I get to talk about, well, so how long have you actually been doing it? How big is the family? And I take pictures. What's your favorite dish? What do you really love to? If I sat down, what would you recommend to me? And I take a picture of the dish too. And I make a cool post about that. But it goes beyond the post. Then I ask you and I share with you, saying, hey, listen, why don't you share this to your pizza page or your whatever page you got, and tag a lot of your clients too, because it's almost like a press release or publishing validation for her too. And share that. What did that really cost me? Time. Isn't prospecting time? I'm going to either sit on the phone and call 100 people, I'm going to go knock on 100 doors, or I'm going to go talk to 5 or 6 business owners or networking owners in town and push it. And if I put your stuff on my page and you share that, that helps my page get promotion. You feel kind of elevated, like, hey, this was really awesome. I picked you as one of the best. I called it the best of, you're one of the best. How many places can you talk to like that? How many places reside? I'm not talking your big franchise Subway stuff. I'm talking like local people that grind every day, where your customers go every day. Your customers are in line all day for lunchtime, morning coffee, wherever they're going. I'm thinking karate studios. Who has all the kids, the play zone stuff? Like, that's the stuff where your business is going to get done. And it's an easy way to talk to people, which a lot of us don't like to do. That's one idea. So a lot of these ideas revolve around, and it came to this about 2016. How many of you know Gary Vee? Gary Vee, right? He's a fun guy, very, very entrepreneurial. If you listen to him, you know his tone, right? I was speaking out at Inman in 2016 in San Francisco. Gary Vee was their keynote. And, I've followed Gary for years, a lot of his books. And I happened to be sitting by accident next to D-Rock, his video guy, right? Sitting right next to me shooting. So a lot of the angles were... And he's not in real estate, but he's just got that vibe of knowing. And he came up with a term, and he coined it as, if you're in real estate, if I was in real estate, you need to become the digital mayor of your community. And by that digital mayor, the same thing that went through my head is, that's the stuff I've been talking to teaching people to prospect. How do I become that digital mayor? Meaning, how do I get to know everybody from a social standpoint by connecting with them. How do I do that? To me, that's what I think his definition is in our terms, is me going out. And I'll promise you this. If you said, Jeff, I'm going to take you to anywhere USA. Now, I've only got a New Jersey real estate license, but get my license anywhere USA, drop me there to sell real estate. I mean, I would do a whole bunch of stuff, but one of the main things, how am I going to go find people today to start talking to? This strategy would be one of them. I could walk into Denver, Colorado, walk in, and hey, my name is Jeff Lobb from Remax. I created this page, Best of Denver, best places in Denver, and I'm going to build this and help these business owners. That'll put me in front of a network, because guess what? You're the pizzeria owner. Do you attend Chamber of Commerce meetings? Do you go to all sorts of town meetings? Do you go to all sorts of stuff with other business owners? Do you play golf with other people? What do you, like, you know a lot of people. Besides the customers, how many other business owners do you know? How many investors might you know that have cash? Lots of things that you don't realize that one person knows. To me, it's a more value than knocking on one door of a residential area. Just that was a better use of my time if I'm going to prospect. So I don't care how you twist and shape that strategy, if you use it at all. And I know it's only meant for like 2% of you that'll do it, but it's magical, and I would do it tomorrow. Day one, I'd probably start that concept. I also want you to understand this, and I had to put this together because I watched this mistake. This quote is, we will watch people think this is a good idea. We're going to go out and start a community page, name it something cool, and here's what's going to happen. And this happened to my clients of mine. Jeff, I created this awesome page. It's called this and that. Great. Show me the posts. I look at all these posts. I'm like, that's awesome. Post about this, post about that, this restaurant, that downtown area. I'm like, great. So tell me more about it. She's like, well, we're getting a lot of activity. That's great. Did you talk to any of these homeowners? Did you talk to any of these business owners? Did you actually go to their stores and ask them to post this? Or are you sitting behind a computer posting stuff about your community? Like, you could post about community stuff. The whole point of this whole thing is shaking hands with that individual and meeting them. That's the value of the real estate prospect. It's not about necessarily the post. It's about the people in the post. It gives you a chance to talk to people, right? So that's what I don't want people to mistaken for, is how that process works. Does that make sense? Good. Here's some others that are working. I got clients doing this from all parts of the country. These are my clients in Florida. She created a site called Keeping It Local Jupiter, Florida. She's attending, one of the tapas, wine and spirits. She showed up to the event. She asked the home, hey, Mr. I'm so-and-so from, Ecofine Properties. I have a page called, Keeping It Local Jupiter. We talk about the best place in Jupiter, Florida. Can I stop by your tapas? We'll have some wine together. Can I take pictures and post it and share it with a lot of my real estate clients? Would you mind? They're thrilled. It's almost like free press, right? And plus, they're having an open house anyway. So she's leveraging that to connect them to more people. Who else? She went to the extremes too. The dog walker. You know how many people dog walkers know? She went to who are the people in this community that know people? Dog walking service. You know how many people they talk to on a daily basis that have dogs? And then who knows first if someone's going to be moving first? Hey, you know what? I'm not going to need your services in a few weeks. We're thinking about putting our house on the market, and we're going to, okay. Have you picked a realtor yet? It's one of those first connections. Anybody have contractors that you work with that you get referrals from? Landscapers? My landscaper was golden to me. I mean, I took very good care of him. But the second he's doing a spring cleanup, oh, sure, we're doing a spring cleanup. We want to do a little more. We mulch the beds because we're going to be putting the house on the market in a couple months. Oh, that's awesome. Have you picked a realtor yet? No, we're starting to talk to them now. Let me give you my friend Jeff Lobb's card if you haven't talked to Jeff. Really? Boom. Magic, instant. I mean, it's done because we help them. I'll refer his business, but it's a two-way street. I was always in the door potentially when I never had a shot, didn't even know the house was going to go on the market. Remember, we didn't have any inventory. How inventory works? If he got me in front of 3 appointments I would have never even known about because I'm not landscaping, mulching beds. He got me appointments I never had before because I helped them. So it's not about having the contractor. It's how can we make top of mind and help them leverage that. And then if I put that contractor and promoted him on my pages, who needs a great landscaper? And let me show you some stuff he's done. Let me show you some pictures of him and her, whoever's doing it. That's how you leverage it with a Facebook page. To me, that's the vehicle. Okay? Now I'm going to show you an extreme. Can I show you an extreme without being intimidated? You got to promise not to be intimidated right up front. Because I have somebody that went to the extreme. Yeah? All right. So I think I have a video on this one. So our guys at Ecofine Properties went out, and there's one agent's fairly young. You'll see him, Mike Smalley. And he went out there and he started, Brian Smalley, my bad. Brian, he went out and found a spa mobile detailing guy, right? Just, hey, I think he's a cool guy. He's a solo entrepreneur, good guy to meet. He knows a lot of people, cars, boats, washing. So he went and did a video with them. Brought in a video crew like this for a day or half a day, a couple hours, whatever it is. And this is what it turned out to be, and I'll tell you the story when it's done. I'll give you just a small clip of it.
Hey everyone out there, this is Brian Smalley with Echo Fine Properties down here in sunny South Florida. I'm here with my good friend Sean Mosley with SNA Mobile Detailing. Sean, tell me a little bit about yourself. What got you into this business?
I started this business almost 10 years ago. I saw that there was a need for people who really have a desire for having their vehicles professionally auto detailed, their homes pressure cleaned, and they wanted the top-notch customer service. And that's what we love to provide to customers throughout Palm Beach County. We want to bring the best service, the best customer service, and just see the customer satisfied is what we desire. We do a wide range of things. We do automobiles, we do recreational vehicles, we do boats, we do planes, we clean homes, roofs, we do large contracts, big commercial vehicles. We also do tile and grout. We're going to expand to carpet cleaning soon. Back when I first started, I was young. I didn't really know too much about it. I did do a lot of studying of the understanding of what detailing really meant.
Sure.
And then I came across someone, as you all may know, his name is 50 Cent. And I did about 3 of his vehicles down in his office down in Boca. They have a company called SMS Headphones, and he has some very nice exotic type of vehicles that I did so he can have them ready for a photo shoot. But I detailed a Ferrari 458 California edition. I did a Lamborghini Aventador, which is very nice. And I take pride in all of the work that I do. I don't measure a job as big or small or something that I should put half effort into. I'm going to give my all on every job that I come to.
Now, while the commercial might have been the video might have been a little bit more commercially, like a little bit longer than I would have wanted, me personally. Think about this. Brian Smalley, real estate agent, just went to talk to a solo entrepreneur, not knowing who he knows. The connection of that, helping say, hey, I want to help promote your business. Turns out he did this video, and I have a different slide on another presentation. Took this video. What turned out to happen is this gentleman took the post, used it as a promotional piece. And this is the value of guys like this when they can make magic out of editing. Took the post and he shared it and tagged all of his friends. The thing had like 16,000 views and it had 126 shares in almost less than 48 hours. And here's Brian Smalley, just real estate agent in their marketing. Is that good branding for him? Is that good marketing for him? Think about the appreciation of this gentleman saying, thanks for, like, he would never have that thought process to do marketing like that because that's just not his thing. He's really good at what he does. I think to the point where I heard the story is, come 6 months later, he used it as a promotional piece. Like he used this as a commercial to share, and he ended up having to get a second machine and hire a second guy because his business started to take off. What's the value of that now to a real estate agent and his loyalty to that? Start off really simple. Now, that's an extreme video, but it cost a day of some time and some editing. Not that it all has to go there. I have people who literally sat down with the chef of a French restaurant and did an iPhone video, just a fun live stream or something like that. That's where technology is starting to change how we do things. You know, when Gary said, you know, you need to be more of a media company than a real estate company, today's consumers are all media driven. They're watching. I mean, I won't tie too much of it here, but think about just Facebook Live for a second. How many of you use Facebook Live in your real estate business? And I know I'm not going to dive deep into live, but I just want you to hear the power of this for a second. Facebook Live is more powerful, as far as I'm concerned, than the evolution of the television. And I say that with definition behind it. Think about this. If I'm in California, the local news stations in California, Channel 5, Channel 4, whatever they are, Channel 7, if those local news stations get pressed, they get a lot of eyeballs. Can I see those local channels here in New Jersey? No. If I do a local station here, can they see it in Iowa, Chicago, Florida? No. If I do a live stream right now, Jeff Lobb, for free, right now, on live stream, could they see it in California? Could they see it in London, Canada, anywhere in the world, and it costs me nothing? How powerful is that to have an audience? This is why our younger teenagers, and I've got a few younger ones, I got 6 kids, but even my youngest ones, their television is YouTube. They want to all be YouTubers because they realize that they could build their own show and their own audience for free, and if they do a good job, get paid millions of dollars for advertising dollars at no cost or no overhead. So when I use a Facebook Live because I'm intimidated because the little button's recording me and I don't know what to say, we have a lot to say. People are dying for information about the real estate market, about real estate in the industry. Not just about how the market is, although that's one of them. What are the problems you solve in people's day? What are the problems on home inspections? What are the problems that your contractors are dealing with? Like, hey, let's talk about a problem we had today on one of the houses where, if you have a home that's got mold issues, let's talk about mold. Whatever it is. Anyone in the world can see that at no cost to you. And yet, we don't take the time. One of the things that made me real successful in my marketplace back before this stuff was born was I used to have a wrapped vehicle. Some people are anti-wrapping their vehicle, but that was huge for me. For $300 a month, I rented for $300 a month, and I was with Remax at the time. I said, I'm spending this much money on magazine ads. We used to do our own full page in the Homes books and stuff like that, right? So if I was spending, let's say I did 2 pages a month, and maybe it cost me $2,000. I said this, I'm going to take $1,000 off that. I'm going to do 1 page, and I'm going to take $300 a month. I'm going to rent the vehicle. Pick a vehicle. I don't care. Whatever I get, $300 or $400 a month, and I'm going to wrap it. Secondly was, what can I do with the other $600 a month? I did local cable TV on the sports show where all the kids were playing sports. That's because that was the only medium we had that where people are paying attention. Parents were paying attention to it. So for that $1,000, I recycled it and did $600 and $400. Those 2 things made my business from a brand. I couldn't go anywhere without people going. I saw people 15 years later, still to this day, going, I remember that car you drove around in. Because I did it for 5, 6, 8, 10 years. They all remember me in the car. It's amazing how they still know that. I had one guy said to me, and my son is now 18. He was like, I remember. He goes, didn't you take your son to pre-K or preschool at St. Joseph's or whatever it was? I don't remember. He goes, my kid's the same age as yours. He goes, my son used to wait in the parking lot until your car showed up. You had the car with all that stuff on it. It was a convertible, like Mini Cooper or something like that. That's how crazy powerful that was. I have these tools right now that cost me nothing. Nothing. It just, we use them. Even if it cost $1,000, I was spending $1,000 because it still worked. These are free. Facebook pages are free. Their audiences are available if you learn how to build it. Is it work? Yes. But so is marketing and so is prospecting. It's all work, right? So this guy was there. So that kind of ties up how a business page would be used. Any questions on business pages? Because they're going to keep changing. The real reason they changed the algorithm, just for transparency of Facebook, is they got to make money. They want you to advertise. And while we could do a session on advertising and strategy that way, it's not a bad platform to advertise. It's still the number 1 platform to advertise on. But it's not just stick a picture of a house and expect the phone to ring. How do I make that advertising stand out? Who do I market it to? Pick the data. Pick the client I want it to go to. There's a different strategy. But all this is available in today's marketing of social. I'll throw a little fun in this one. Photos. Do you still see bad photos? Oh, yes. Isn't that crazy? This day and age. Terrible photos. Take a close look at this one. He didn't even get his hand outside the car window. Didn't even, just on the fly. Boom, Florida. Didn't even bother to get out. They still earn commissions like we do, right? It's a shame. We have the best devices in the world that ever took the best photos ever. But the last thing I, as a real estate professional, ever want to do, or tell you to do, is go edit. I don't want to edit anything. I want to sell more homes. I don't want to become a video person. I'd rather hire a video person. I'd rather hire a photographer. And while I'm going to show you something that doesn't replace your photography, it doesn't at all, because today, I was like, I can still take good photos. I'm not great at it, but I got cameras I can use. I still wouldn't spend my time doing it. When I get listings, I want professional photography. I want it consistent. I want the lighting right, and I want it done so my clients, and when I go on the next listing presentation, they see the work that I do, or they see the work in the professionals I bring in to do it. But there are times you might post something on social. You might post something somewhere that needs some editing that I don't want you to edit. So this is on the MLS down in Louisiana. I'm not sure why anyone in the world would put that on MLS, but this is the kind of stuff that's not in your market, obviously. But this is the fun stuff that's out there today. So I want to share with you guys a simple scenario. You take a picture on your, let's say it's an iDevice or something you need just for a quick social post, and you got some lighting issue, just because it's that type of day, right? That's not terrible, but that same picture could be that with the use of this little company that has been popping around the country, now the world, that we've become really close with, called Box Brownie. Box Brownie has done a really amazing job by you sending them a photo or photos, and they magically add the lighting, the editing, and flip it back to you, I don't know, a day or two later, and give you the picture with the right transparency and all that stuff. So for me, I'd rather spend a couple dollars, get it done and do it right, and let me go focus on getting more listings and the prospecting end of it. Do you ever see like a twilight photo too? Like how a twilight's at the right sunset or the right, not twilight, but with the right lighting? This is that same home edited with the right lighting added to it. That might be a thumb-stopping Instagram type photo or a thumb-stopping photo on Zillow. Like even if it was that one front picture you need to get attention. Or it might be that's the picture that goes on my flyer, digital flyer for open houses. So I'm not saying it replaces your photographer. I mean, they might be able to do this too. However, this is what I'm thinking from a social perspective. Box Brownie also does virtual staging stuff. So if you've got empty homes, they'll put stuff in it and make it look pretty real. Oh, wow. I'm a guy. I have no skill to pick colors or furniture. Me. So I can appreciate that because I can't visualize what it would look like until I see it. I go to pick paint. I can't pick it until I see it on a wall. Like I just don't have that skill. So before and after, I'm even to the point of the barbecue being offset. I mean, there's a barbecue out there. There's chairs compared to a grassy, no. If you do use something like this, always just in the agent remarks, disclaimer, hey, this is virtually staged. So when they show up and it's empty, like what the hell? Did the place get robbed? You know, like where'd all that stuff go? I want to buy it as is. Can I buy that furniture? So just virtually, you know, from the TV to everything, you know. So just for fun, I would do that as disclosure. But look at the lighting differences. Look at the lighting and the color differences from a condo here to the clouds and the lighting outdoors. I mean, I don't quote people's prices, but in this case, this sample they give, it costs like less than $2. Okay? And I'm not saying their services are, I'm sure they have higher end services. But for me, I would just automatically send them a couple pictures, make them look great, and send them back. Right? Just perspective. Stay focused on real estate and business opportunities. What I'll call, here's my term, IPAs. Income producing activities is the way I refer to a lot, IPAs. Besides the favorite beer I like to drink, IPAs. All right, so you got those two, Facebook pages, lists. There's two things I'm going to ask you, one at the end. When it comes to Facebook ads, it's not going away in the next couple of years. I can't talk about Facebook ads in 5 minutes or 10. So this is one of those topics that I would say, if you have an interest in talking specifically in the depth of Facebook ads, would you want to have that as one of the trainings at some point? Is that something that you need to learn more about? I don't know that. That's an answer for you guys. Yes or no? Okay, so that might be one topic we pick later date. The only thing I do want to show you about some Facebook ad stuff is some strategic things that are being done on Facebook ads, and then we could dive into another session on a different day. But two things. Have you been looking at some of the ads that have been working? If you have been running ads, I want to share with you a couple strategies, is the use of emojis. The use of the way the ad is written. How many of you use emojis in your day-to-day emails and or scripts? Not many. And here's why. I thought it was a joke back in the day. If you asked me 10 years ago again, would I talk about emojis as a strategy? I'd laugh. But here's what happens. How confusing and how misinterpreted are words? When you send somebody a message or an email, sometimes does it get misinterpreted? Yes. The tone. Because words don't have emotion. Remember emotional marketing? Words don't have it. So when you're breaking something up now with the leveraging of emojis, look, where do your eyes draw? If I just had this as just words, you might blur out. But doesn't it break it up with the right proper use of emojis? The wow, the number 2 balconies, the money plus price and location of the camera, pointing to I want you to click on this link, telling you right here, right? The way it's spaced out, we've been running tests with different companies. The same ad with no emojis, just words. Side by side, same target audience, same dollar spend, same everything. That one gets more clicks. Just, it is. Gets more clicks, more eyeballs. I'll tell you where attention is getting spent on emojis too. And this is something I didn't even think of. It just started happening to me. So I'm going to recycle the idea. Do you ever look at your emails when you open up your emails? It's like this list of holy crap, like everything from spam to... So Under Armour, Nike, ski resorts, all starting to use emojis in the headlines of their emails. So now I'm getting a muscle fist bump muscle thing and a heart with like sign up for this new thing or whatever it is. My eyeballs go right to it. Draws my attention. So in the email, so you might say, well, I'm on a laptop. How do I get? There's different apps nowadays for laptops and or things you can have emojis sitting there. I would start putting relevant, not overdoing it, relevant emojis in the headline of my emails to get more people's attention to open my stuff. It's what's working today. 5 years from now, it might be different. But let's face it, we weren't talking about this 2 years ago, were we? How many emails do you get a day? Right? We're in overwhelm. When you send text or Facebook Messenger, emojis are giving you that emotion to know this is how I'm saying it versus how it sounds. Okay? Here's another study that was done for Instagram on emojis. Instagram getting emojis more response based on emoji marketing than none. Study after study after study. Emojis are leading to higher engagement on Instagram, to higher interactions on Instagram, or on any platform for that matter, but Instagram. Right? So simple emojis is where it goes. So if they're getting more engagement, I don't need to go through all the rules, but first of all, depending on who you are, you need to understand what the emojis mean, first of all. Like my 76-year-old dad, God love him, doesn't quite understand all of the emojis. I get some from him like, what the hell's he doing? Like, what? Because he thinks it means something else. But using them properly with the right relevant terms or the right relevant, not overdoing it. Is it relevant to our brand? Is it the right color to our brand? Correct timing. Be careful, your message. It sounds obvious, but I've seen people just make a hot mess of it. So using proper emojis in the proper space will get more attention. That's most of them. Anybody know, and I'm embarrassed to still say this, what the number one emoji is in the state?
Thumbs up.
I thought so.
It's the poop.
It is.
Which one?
And I've never used it. When I learned that, I couldn't believe it because I'm like, I've never used that in my life. How is that the number one still used emoji the past couple of years? It's ridiculous. And I've never used it. I choose not to because there's just no reason for me to use it. But I guess that is number one emoji. All right, how are we doing on time? We got a few more minutes? I'll share with you this one last thought because this is something I think Josh might be willing to give to you guys if you'd like, or we'll give to Olivier to work on. I sell nothing to you guys. I come with Family First Funding. They pick up the tab for all this stuff to bring in training. It's a value proposition first. So I don't sell you anything. Although I have coaching products and stuff I do, nothing gets sold here today. Anything that comes to you guys comes through Josh, and he picks up the dollars, and Olivier, right? So that being said, Visual Farming, I created a simple lead capture system for Facebook ads and for stuff to capture leads. What I learned was there's a lot of lead capture pages or landing pages out there. The problem was this, or at least my problem. Too complicated, too many bells and whistles that I'll never use. Couldn't figure out how to use it, or I didn't feel like spending $100 a month for just simple landing pages. And there's some good ones out there, not to downplay them. I just said for my clients that I was working with, I built this for our clients first, and then some said they wanted to buy it. So I created this platform called Visual Farming. It's lead capture landing pages. Now, they're not lead generation, but if I was going to run an ad that said, hey, the home value in your area is changing and you want to find out home valuation, you can click capture and it gives a home value. If I had a free report, meaning the top 5 things sellers need to know before they put their home on the market, and I wanted that give me your name and email address and I'll deliver to you that free report, I needed to have that proper page to give the information, capture it, and then give them what they wanted. So Visual Farming, we're going to give access to you guys through Olivier's office, right? If you don't mind. And Family First Funding, they're going to pick this up for you, so dollar-wise. So these are going to be free for coming through the office. But what I want you to understand is the couple concepts of how to use it. Okay, it's not just so much, here's some pages, go figure it out. And unfortunately, I have a demo. I just want to show you a couple samples. I apologize I didn't have a Remax demo done for you guys, but just ignore the brand. But I want to show you a couple things that it does first, live, if I can just go live for a second. And I want you to know, and I have a webinar on this that you guys can all watch me doing it step by step, like how to fill in the boxes. But everything I want you to see first is all editable by not being a code person or a website person. For example, see this photo in the background? It may not fit your market. You can upload your own photo, put your own photo in the background. See the word that says Sussex County home values are changing? You could type in East Brunswick home values are changing, and it changes it on the website. It's like type in the text, save it, it changes it live. Right? It was tried to be simpler. But I also wanted something that wasn't the standard cookie cutter like find out what your home is worth or free CMA, because we've been saying that for 30 years. Right? What if you said it differently? Because I wanted you to be able to type in something different. So if I said to you, home values are dramatically changing in East Brunswick right now, find out how much it's changing. Am I going to get the curiosity of a homeowner? Drive them to this page, click this link, takes them to this page that says home values are changing in East Brunswick, or dramatically changing, because truthfully, aren't home values always changing? Yeah. We just want to get people to talk to before they list, before they buy. Right? Just like what Zillow does, just like what Realtor.com does. They capture the lead and they funnel it out. You still have to find people to click on the stuff, but whether it's through an ad or print marketing or on your postcards, you still need to take them someplace to give them the information they want. Now, this type of platform will give you up to 3 different sites you can create on your own. They could be 3 of the same thing or 3 of different things that I'm going to share with you. One could be a home valuation page. One could be what I call a gallery page where you could show off a home, and I'm going to show you a sample of that. And the third thing could deliver any free report or PDF or ebook you want on demand. Any type of, buyer brochure, seller brochure. What's that? Statistics, market activity data, school information. Get the latest school information for all East Brunswick or whatever it is. PDF file, they give you a name, email address, boom, it delivers on demand. So it's a capture page for those things that you can edit to say what you wish. Now, I do want to preface the home value page, but I want to give it to you with the right script. Because when I tell you, you're going to make a face. The data that gives the home valuation on these pages comes from your favorite place. But there's a reason. I have a strategy behind everything. Let me ask you this. Do people and consumers believe what Zillow delivers in home valuations? You guys face that. Right. Is there any platform in the world that can deliver a really accurate CMA to a house? No. Thank God, because we'd be out of business. Right? That's the good news. If Zillow or any of these platforms are, I don't care if it's Realtor.com, any platform, some might have more details than other, but there is no computer system in the world that can be that accurate right now. I say that right now because it might be one day. I don't know. But the good news is we have to sell the value of us. So if Zillow delivers, it's not going to scream Zillow, but if the home valuation comes back, so let's just say I saw an ad that said, home values in East Brunswick are changing dramatically. I click to this. It says, oh, good, I want to find my home value. I type in my name, my email address, and I got to give it some property address. So I'm just going to pick, and it's tied to Google Maps, so it'll start to tell you Court. Hamburg. I'm just going to pick that townhouse somewhere. And I say, what's my home worth today? When do customers want that information? Now, right? There is a page 2 that comes up, and you might say, why? Right now, whether I fill out anything on page 2, the lead's already captured. It's already been sent to my phone, my email, and I get a text message. So I don't care if they fill out on page 2. Page 2, I can have there's a bunch of pre-done questions in the dashboard. You could check the box and say, do I want to ask how many bedrooms, how many baths? Property condition. I've already pre-selected things you turn on or off. So even if they said they'll answer it, great, I get more information. If they don't, they get the free instant valuation. If I have it turned on. I'm not sure if I have this demo turned on. I do in this case. And it's a little smaller, it's shrinking it. But in this case, this says the home's worth between $350 and $388 range. Now, again, I don't know if that's accurate or not. It's Zillow data. It might be close. Doesn't matter. For us, here's what has to happen. The problem I also saw with landing pages and lead capture pages, especially home value, is there's some that you spend really good money on, that when they give you the information and they get that valuation, some automatically send you a beautiful 30-page customized, branded CMA, like automated. But that sounds awesome and it looks pretty. But once they have that 30 pages of stuff, you think they want to talk to you at that point? They won't talk to you. My job is to get an appointment. I want to talk to somebody so I can say this. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner. My name's Jeff Lobb with RE/MAX. I saw you did that home valuation yesterday or last night. It gave you a range of $350 to $399 or $389. Just curious, are you comfortable with the real generic version that it gave you, or do you want me to help you narrow that down to a few $1,000s? Just curious if I can help you with that. So are you comfortable with the generic version that you got, that wide range, or do you want me to help you narrow that down? Is that an attempt to get what? What's the attempt? An appointment. They're going to have two answers. Yeah, no, I thought it was kind of wacky. I would love, how do you get me closer? Need to stop by for 15 minutes, take a look at the home. We have a little bit more accurate data in the local market. We can help you out, blah, blah, blah. Right? We do our job and sell the appointment. They go the other direction, which is most of the time. No, we were just kicking around, just trying to get an idea. Don't let them off the hook. They were there for a reason of curiosity. I don't care if you're tire kicking, they were just getting an idea. My next question would be, that's awesome. Everyone starts somewhere. Just curious, did you agree? Did you feel it was accurate? Where did you think your home was worth? Conversation. Well, you know what? We actually thought our home was worth on the 4s. I thought the home up the street sold for 4. Well, which home were you thinking about? The one up the street? You know what? Let me check on that one real quick. Conversation. Keep it going. Always ask them, did you think it was accurate? They have an opinion. They think they know what their home is worth, and that's okay. That's the conversation we start. And if we're good, we fuel that. Well, I'm curious, if you think your home's in the 4s, I sell some homes in the area too. What made you, was there some features you added to your home that made that? Like, did you do some kitchens, some baths? Talk, right? Look, it's not a perfect world, but it gets you people to talk to if you capture leads. So it does a lead capture CMA type platform. That's one page you can create. By the way, it has automation if you wanted to. You could set up a minute from now, they get an email from you. 10 minutes from now or 2 days later, they get an email. 20 days later, they get an email. You put it together once, it'll just drip them all the time, right? That's the one option. The second option I like a lot because it does two things. When you finally get a listing in tight inventory, there is what's called FOMO. You heard me say it before, fear of missing out. This is exactly why consumers, when they go to Zillow, they will still search on Realtor.com. They will still search your RE/MAX site. They will still search something else. Why? They think they're going to find something else that wasn't on the other site. They'll keep searching. So that's a good thing. So when you get a good listing now, or any listing, as inventory's tight, they want to see it quick, right? Multiple offers, they want to get something before it's on the market. So you can create an ad that says, hot new listing in East Brunswick. To see the price and the other 24 photos of this home, click here. Because you never want to put price in the ad anyway. It could change tomorrow. But if you want to see the price in the other 24 photos or the price and the address of this location, click here. It takes them to a page. Hot new listing in East Brunswick. Get instant access to the price and all the photos of this beautiful home in whatever. They have to give me their name and email address to capture them or to get what they want. And it's going to turn out to be what I call a gallery view. It's a one simple page that says, welcome to 4 Fox Run. Price is $379.9 or $379, 4 beds, 2.5 baths. And here are the 24 photos you asked. Meanwhile, my phone will get the email address, the capture, and the consumer can open this up on mobile and just filter through the other 20-some-odd photos you upload. So it's simple and clean, right? It's a way to you could do it for an open house. Something, hey, hot new open house coming up this Sunday. To see the price, location, and pictures, click here. Got it? So home valuation, gallery page. Third, does anybody use RPR? Did you use RPR? It was rough in the beginning. I love RPR. It's come a long way. It's put like CMAs and marketing analysis on steroids. A lot more data, pretty graphs. It's already branded for you. It's free. You already pay for it, right? So the other thing you can have is you can have this page deliver any free ebook, anything you could turn into a PDF, right? A seller's report, buyer's report. But people say to me all the time, hey, Jeff, what's a good, give me an idea what I can use. Here's my favorite. I'd go to RPR, go to East Brunswick, and pull up a market activity report, right? Gives you this beautiful 22-page market activity report, your brand, your name, your face, all the employment issues and stuff going on and data, right? Save it as a PDF. Upload it to the platform, and the ad says something like, the market in East Brunswick has changed dramatically. get your free real estate market activity report that shows all the homes on the market and sold property data. They all want the sold property data too, right? It's a free report. They have to give you their name, email address. Instantly, as soon as they get that, it clicks and gives you the report. So the same thing will apply. Name, email address, get me my, in this case, it would be my free market, because you could even change any of the buttons. Anything you see is editable. Free market activity report would be in the button. Type it in. They will get, if it's live, let's see if it goes to page 2. Page 2 is you could give me more information about your home, or you could just have nothing here. I would have nothing here probably. Get me my free market activity report, and it will deliver the PDF to you downloaded. Give me a second. And you could link it to any place you want afterwards. So the download will be right here. When you upload the report, it'll be downloadable. But the nice part is on any of the thank you forms where it says, hey, thanks so much, here's your free report. But in the meantime, if you wanted to go search for homes right now, you can go to my website and click on here. So you can give them both the free report they asked for, download it, or they can click on the link that you put there and drive them to one of your pages. We were demoing this last week with RE/MAX groups, right? So home valuation, gallery page, and a downloadable report. Anybody remember Craig Proctor? Anybody used Craig Proctor a long time ago? He's still around, but a lot of times he was benefiting on those free report activities. Find out, to me, I would have a report. I'd have a Word doc. If I asked you right now, what are 5 things you need to do? What would you advise a homeowner? 5 things to get more value out of their home. Declutter, right? You could probably make that list, right? 5 things. If you just turned that from a Word doc to a PDF doc and ran an ad, I don't care that ad's on Facebook or in wherever you put an ad, thinking about putting your home on the market, 5 things you absolutely need to know to get more value out of your home. Take them to that landing page, capture them, give them that free 1-page PDF you made. Here's 5 things you could do as a real estate professional to get you more money for your home, and tell them why. So it's a free ebook, a free PDF. Right? Yes?
The landing page,
yes.
Where would you place it? Is it Facebook, Instagram, and etc.?
It's a great question. Okay, so 2 things. First things first is when you create a page, it's going to give you a link. Let me see if I can give this to you. It's going to, I know it's a little small up on the screen, but I'll give you the example, and I'll clarify that for you. So, for example, when you go create a page, it's going to ask you to name the page. When you guys get the coupon code, the free code, it's going to say, hey, name your first page. If I want to do a home valuation page, I don't want to name it like Jeff Lobb Realtor. I want to name it like, this one's named Sussex County Home Values.visualfarming.com, because it gives you like a subdomain URL. So I named it something related to home value so that I can tie it to it. Would I take that link and put it on my postcard marketing? No, it's too long to type. So what would I do? When I send out postcard marketing or print or open house flyers, I might say, the real estate market's changing, find out your home value here. I might say SussexCountyHomeValues.com or .info or something short or at least memorable that forwards to this link. Right? Something, a real easy domain. I would buy a simple domain. And I don't care if it's .info too, because it's usually available most of the time if .com is full. You know, East Brunswick homevalues.info, homevalueseastbrunswick.info.com. And I would have that in the print, but that domain would forward to this page. And it's simply done by doing a forward, just like you're forwarding email. Seamlessly, it would forward. So then when I have that domain, anything in print would be that really easy domain. Actually, that domain would go everywhere. If I was going to put a link on Facebook, the link would be eastbrunswickhomevalues.info, linking to that page. Okay, so I would create a good domain name to use in all print marketing, to forward to these pages that are relevant to that topic. And then I could put that anywhere. I would have it even as far as the bottom of my email signature. I would have a hyperlink to every email that I got sent out. Did you know the home values are changing in your market? I didn't say what market, because I think it'll give you a home valuation in any market. And I would have the link, home values in nj.com or whatever it is. Everything, every email, open house flyer, Facebook, social, Instagram, all things there. That was a good question. Did that answer it, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
Can you put a phone number in there, or do you not put phone number?
Yes. No, you can. So in the dashboard has an option to turn the phone number on or off, to ask for it or not. Everything's like a button you push to turn it on or off. And the reason we did that, we had to give you options of, like, even for that page 2 that says how many beds or baths, you could turn them all off. But we created them so that I had to learn by trial and error. The error was I can't leave flexibility for people to type in their own questions, because if it's unethical or illegal, we all get into trouble. So we just gave you simple things like, there's even mortgage questions. Like, there's someone that you would CC on this. So when I fill in the lead source, like, I want the lead to go to my email address and send me a text. Who do you want to CC on this? Like, do you want to carbon copy somebody? You can carbon copy your assistant. You can carbon copy your loan officer. Because guess what? I would partner with a loan officer, because if they can get somebody on the phone 2 days from now that I didn't, get them pre-approved and go, hey, I got this from you, I'm going to give it back. Like, to me, that's a helpful thing too. So you can carbon copy somebody on that as well. Your assistant, your team, whoever it might be. So you guys are going to get these pages. I just wanted to give you an overview of at least how to use them, so you can get the idea of what you might want to do with them. And then you can start setting them up. There is a webinar I have on the dashboard under resources, or we can do one in your office virtually on showing you more of the step-by-step, but there's one already me doing it for you. You spend 20, 30 minutes with it. I fill in all the boxes and you follow along. Make sense? Good? Don't get me wrong. These things are sold. I do sell them, just not to you guys. So there is a value to them. Don't think everything is free. I don't want you to misinterpret that. Last thing I'm going to close with is the last thing we're going to give you guys, and we'll talk about in a second, is, where's my last slide? Is the challenge. Is the challenge of execution. Is, what do you do next? If I had to ask you guys, just kind of a quick recap, is, did we give you a couple good ideas today? Because that was my job. Give you a few good ideas to think about. If I had to ask you which 1 or 2 ideas you think you'll go execute, is my more important question. So if you don't mind sharing just for 2 minutes, just 2 or 3 of you, which 1 or 2 ideas resonated with you that you're going to actually go do? Lists, Facebook lists, right? Digital mayor, can do it. Community stuff, visual, photos. Love to see it. Share it when you do it. I'll share it with the universe. What else? Box brownie? Who likes box brownie? Cool, right? At least give it a shot. Try it for a couple bucks. Try here and there, maybe more. If you like it, great. If you don't, it's a new company. I'm telling you, they've come out of the UK, I think it is, or out of Australia. They came to the US. They've hit every major event, every major convention. They're now back over on the other side doing stuff in other countries. They're great guys. They're taking their business seriously, and they created a cool little niche. They're just really good, down-to-earth people that are doing a good job. So give them a shot. See what that looks like. What else? One more. Who's executing? Nothing? We're just going to go back and like this. What's that? Landing pages? Cool. You can get creative with them. I mean, you can keep them really simple or get really creative with them. They're not perfect. I didn't create definitely a perfect product. I tried to create something, quite frankly, for those who are paying for this product outside of us. I made it more affordable, too. It's like a $250 a year product. So for most people, I wanted to make it affordable as well.
For the people that are using it,
yeah,
where they're seeing successful conversion, how much are they spending on it on average?
It really depends. I got some people that are extreme with Facebook ads, a couple $100 a month, to a lot of people just doing it organically, spending nothing and trying to just drive it through, postcard market. They're already sending out stuff already. They're adding it too. The biggest problem and the failure of this thing is simply the lack of promoting it. The page works. It's you and the promotion behind it. Is that going to work? Because I will get some people going, hey, it didn't work for me. I'm going to cancel it. I'm like, I don't really care. But what didn't work? Like, the page captures stuff. Where did you promote it? Or did you promote it? Like, that didn't work. So it worked, but you didn't promote it. So I understand the difference. So in your case, the thing will work if you promote it and drive people to it. That's the work part. That's the prospecting part. Right? Yes?
Would you suggest agents start off small with a small budget? Because with Facebook ads, you can start
Always.
$20.
It's a small budget to see what response I get, change a few things, try and get a different response. Always. Never start big, because you don't know what's going to work. It could literally be a change of 3 words, and the photo makes the big difference in your ad. But I would not, I would take advantage of all the easiest stuff first, is that every place you have something with your brand name on it, from business cards to your website. Like, if you have a website that already has a home value button, link it to that. Link it to everything. But I like. That's the best lead capture in the world. Send something of value to them, and you need to give me an email. I just say text or email. I don't care which one it is. You're giving me something. Right? But you're giving me more valuable. You give me your phone number. That's even the most valuable versus an email address. Someone wants to give me a Gmail address, I'll take it. But you want it texted, you're giving me the most valuable thing I can ask for is your phone number. And I'm okay with that because I just offered you something of value. And I said it casually. I'll send you a link to find out your home's value so you can at least know where your home stands. You want me to text it or email it to you, and I just look down on my phone and wait. Just wait for it.
It's real quick.
Quick. You got to just kind of have it flow, right? So the other thing we want to give you today and through the office, it's going to funnel through your brokerages because I know you have different offices, different locations, if you invite Josh and I back, great, we'll come back because there's two things I think we could talk about or should talk about is Facebook ads. The other thing I think we should talk about in more detail specifically, because today was a widespread of a few things, I think is Instagram as a specific content. So if we choose to do something like this and we come back, we'll do that. In the meantime, there is still a site where I have a lot of my training videos, all the webinars I do, all the content on videos of different strategies. I have on a training platform. That training platform is on Family First site, or it's on Josh's site. Which domain? JoshBlair.com. So JoshBlair.com. We're going to give you a free passcode. When I say passcode, there's a one-time passcode you're going to need to create your free account. The reason there's a one-time passcode is so that the universe just can't log into it and create a free account. Right? We had to put up a gate with a one-time password. Then your account's free. No credit card, we're not asking for nothing. It'll just be videos that'll have access through the Family First Funding page. That'll be social media related, Facebook related, online retargeting strategies, how to use AdWorks. Because you guys using AdWorks? You guys are getting it for free, right? Or at least Remax is. I don't know who's in the room, but Remax is getting it for free. You should be using AdWorks. How to leverage that platform in more detail. How to leverage everything from not just social, but sales and marketing. Strategies, ideas, sales ideas. All those videos are either tutorial or they're webinar strategies. I just did a webinar yesterday. We're changing our webinars with either really smart people that are doing great jobs. I interviewed a woman yesterday. She talked all about how to create leadership and culture. We talked another one about a team. What system do you use to run your team? Why do you use call action to do autoresponders for you? Like, why are you doing these things and how are they working? So these are things that are all available by people around the country and myself that I put up on this site. Video, just like anything else, on demand. Watch it as you wish, or sit as an office together for 20 minutes and watch one of them having lunch one day with Josh, right? One of those things. So that's all going to be available to you guys. Video, very Apple-like, very simple, very clean. Simple things, right? So on that note, I want to make sure I thank, obviously, Josh. Thank you guys and your broker and owners for bringing me in today. I couldn't thank you guys more for spending time with me, and I appreciate your time today. So thank you to these guys. Yeah.